morning, everybody. Thank you, David, for that introduction, and thank you to everybody for coming. And let me apologize for the lack of seating. But there is a bar, as David said, and you can just sort of mingle in the back and have a pint while we're doing the session. That's absolutely fine. This is the first time, actually, I've done a talk in a bar, so this is a new experience for me. Thank you very much to Longman for sponsoring me for this IATEFL conference. You've heard a little bit about me. I'm basically a teacher and a teacher trainer, not particularly a tech person, although I am interested in technology. I want to find out a little bit about you before we start. So, first of all, if you're a teacher, an English or a language teacher, can you just hold up your hand? Oh, that's good. Okay. If you're a teacher trainer as well, can you hold up your hand? Wow. Okay. If you're a writer, materials writer, coursebook writer, online writer, okay. Publisher of some description? Publishers, a couple. Okay. Well, there were some people who didn't hold up their hands, actually. I was wondering, what do you do? Okay. All right. This is about, the talk is about mobile technology. And I just want to check, where you are in terms of mobile devices. So, first of all, if you have access to a computer at home or at work, and you use a computer in your daily life or at work, can you hold up your hand? Okay, that's everybody. All right, if you use a desktop computer some of the time, the fixed ones, the big box types, can you hold up your hand? Again, most of you. Okay, if you use a laptop, can you hold up your hand? More people. All right, more than desktops. What about if you have a smartphone, which is mobile phone, the kind of fancy ones, like the iPhone or the Android? Quite a few. Okay, if you have a kind of a more old-fashioned mobile phone, can you hold up your hand? If you have a mobile phone of any description, can you hold up your hand? Okay. What about the iTouch, which is the iPhone without the phone? Can you hold up your hand if you have an iTouch? A few of you. All right. The latest thing that's just been released is the iPad. There's only 2 people I know of who have one. Can you hold up your hand? They're not here. Eric is one of them, and Cleve at the back. Okay. I want to see you later. I want to get my hands on one for the first time. Okay, right, mobile technology. I want to start off talking a little bit about how mobiles are ever present in all of our lives, and give an example from my own life in the last 24 hours. A few little sort of anecdotes. The first one, yesterday I left Barcelona in Spain, where I live, and I caught a flight from Barcelona to Leeds. On the flight, I was with a colleague of mine, Ben Goldstein. I don't think he's here. Ben, are you here? No, Ben's getting ready for his talk. He said he'd be panicking and wouldn't be coming. Ben is a coursebook writer, and he was busy going through the proofs of his latest coursebook. And at one point he said to me, hey, the adjective run down, is the adjective written with a hyphen or not? Because here in the proofs it's with a hyphen, and I'm not sure if it is. And I said, well, I don't think it is, but let me just check. So I whipped out my iPhone, and I have a little application on here called dictionary.com, which is a free monolingual English dictionary and thesaurus, and I typed in rundown, and I had a look, and I found rundown, and what do you think the answer is? Does the adjective have a hyphen or not? Well, okay, according to dictionary.com, the verb has no hyphen, and the adjective does have a hyphen, okay, which I didn't know. So that was handy. When I got to Harrogate, of course, I was staying not in a hotel, but in a fantastic apartment, courtesy of Longman. But of course, it's not a well-known address. It's a little side street in the old town. So I couldn't ask people for directions. So what I did was looked up when I was at home in Barcelona on my iPhone, connected up to Google Maps, found the address of the apartment on a map. And I knew that in Harrogate it was unlikely I'd have a connection to be able to check Google Maps when I was here, so I took a screenshot from my iPhone. I saved it to my camera roll. When I got to Harrogate, I took out my iPhone, looked at the screenshot, there was the map, and I could find my apartment. This was also because my printer packed up yesterday, so I could actually have just printed out the map, but printing was not an option. So that's the second example. The third example is this morning. Unfortunately, I didn't get to Tessa Woodward's opening plenary because I was in my apartment, which I had found, panicking about this talk. I get very nervous before talks, and I find it very difficult to sit through somebody else's talk when mine is coming up. I actually don't hear anything, and I start to kind of sweat and tremble, which is not great for the people around me. So what I did was I was in my apartment with an internet connection, going through my talk, and at the same time I had Twitter open. If you're familiar with Twitter, can you hold up your hand? Oh, a lot of people. Okay. So there were people during Tessa's plenary session who were tweeting, talking about what was happening during the session, and this was arriving, so I was kind of keeping an eye on it. I also tried to watch it being streamed live, but couldn't do that because my connection was not good enough. But Twitter was coming in the whole time into my iPhone, because you can watch it on, you can access Twitter via a mobile device. So that's 3 little examples. It permeates our lives. Mobile devices are with us all day, every day. And I think most of the people in this room, or all of the people, have some sort of mobile device. Okay, let's start then. The talk is going to look more or less like this. We're going to start with a couple of definitions of mobile learning, mobile generation. We're going to look at devices. What are mobile devices? We'll look at the users of these devices, general users, or the mobile generation, and users in our field, English language learners and English language teachers. We'll take a look at some of the options we have for integrating mobile technology into the classroom and out of the classroom. And we'll look at some apps, some applications. I want to keep that a bit brief. And finally, we'll consider levels of use, levels of difficulty, and levels of implementation within the classroom. The idea is that you leave the session with a good overview of what mobile technologies are and how they relate to us as English teachers. And hopefully with an idea or two of how to start using them yourselves if you'd like to. That's the idea. Okay, let's start off then with a definition. Just on a piece of paper, I'd like you to complete this sentence and then compare with 2 or 3 people next to you and see what you come up with. And see a lot of people in the back there haven't got paper and pens. That's what I love about teachers. They often come to sessions without paper and pens. That's fine. Just do it in your head and compare it with the people around you. Okay. Could some of you just shout out a definition or 2 so we have an idea? And I do know people in the audience, and I'm expecting you to shout out, okay? If not, I'll be speaking to you later. Some definitions. You can put your hand up if you like. Yes?
This gentleman said mobile learning is a faster way to learn more.
Fantastic. That's perfect. Thank you. Excellent. Any more? Yeah.
Mobile learning is for lazy teachers.
I shall be refuting that. Right. A few more. Thank you very much. A few more?
Learning you carry.
Jenny.
Learning you carry around with you.
Lovely. Okay, learning you carry around with you, in case you didn't hear that in the back. And the lady next to? Was somebody next to? Yeah, was it you?
Learning on the go.
Learning on the go. Lovely. Okay. Well, here's a definition that I found on Wikipedia, of course. Where else does one go for definitions? And there's what it says. Can people at the back read this okay? Yeah? Okay, so that's nice and vague, especially the second part. But what you often find in definitions of mobile learning are these key words. On the move, somebody said that, on the go. The idea of a portable or a handheld device. Wi-Fi enabled, so there's connectivity to the internet. And informal learning. These are words that appear again and again and again. I think this is actually sort of a narrower view of mobile learning. There are more possibilities, especially in terms of the on the move. On the move is one part of mobile learning, but it could equally be in the classroom, as we shall see. Certainly I agree with the portable idea and the Wi-Fi idea. And then the informal learning, the idea of, doing some grammar exercises on the bus, that's fine, informal learning, but also formal learning within the classroom. So we're going to try and cover all of those sort of areas during the talk. Okay, we'll start off though with devices. I personally find this hugely confusing. All this terminology, all these things, what are they and what are the differences between them?